Okay, so I bought me a shred neck, and the reason for that is because this semester, along with last semester, I didn't have time to actually get to guitar a whole lot, and my fret hand I can actually work out and keep strong with the handspring, but my pick hand, suffered. So since I don't have that much time because of this thing, since it has that picking pad, I can still work my pick hand out. So I exercise that. Now on to a review of this. The videos on YouTube I've seen are just people screwing around with this. There's nothing that serious. There's this one guy who has a backing track and he's just like, you can pick scales with this. And the backing track is playing, it's like, what? Then the one from Guitar World where they showcased it at the NAMM show, they blocked comments from that because before they blocked them, all the comments were like, what the hell, and they were just like dissing the guy and just, saying this is the most useless thing ever. And then there's another one of this other guy, I guess he's from Asia, he was like just screwing around on it like that, and it's like, that's not helpful. So, what this thing is a piece of wood made in China. And you can tell it's made in China because of the shoddy workmanship. Up here by the nut, there's like dings and scratches, and then the holes where the strings come through, they're not lined up, they're not equally spaced apart, but hey, whatever. But other than that, the thing about the tuners is they add and lessen string tension. Right now I have it tensed up to, about equal with an acoustic. And my thing about that is if Mr. Floyd Rose can make a double locking tremolo system where it's locked here and also locked on the bridge, my question is, did the guy try to have, like the tension machines up here and actual tuners here instead of just having the strings coming through the holes and going on tension posts? I don't know if he tried that, but if they come out with a second generation of this, it would, it would really be helpful if they had something that you could, up here, have something you could adjust the tension of all the strings individually, like they have down here, just not, this big of a system. Just have like little knobs that turn and pull the strings or whatever, and then have these as actual tuners. Because that would actually really help in playing this thing a lot. But you pretty much hold the thing like this. And it gets a little awkward down here on the 5th and 6th string. So you may either have to readjust it like this or readjust your fret end. But you can just run through your normal warm-up exercises whenever you can, like if you're at work or, in between classes or whatever. Like me, I have on Monday and Wednesdays I have like a 4-hour break in between two of my classes, and I live an hour away from it. So there's no point in me coming home, driving an hour, staying here for an hour, then driving back another hour, and then coming home after class, And the thing about that is when I get home sometimes from class and work, it's like, I'm going to be like, yeah, I'm going to practice for a couple hours after I eat and take a shower. Then, I take a shower and I eat, clean up. I'm just sitting there, and then 2 hours has gone by. I'm like, oh, I got to go sleep. But with this thing, I can sit there, watch TV, go through exercises, practice scale positions, chord changes, and all that stuff, arpeggio. Like that. Same thing in the morning, because it takes me like an actual hour, hour and a half to wake up, like mentally and physically. But after I eat breakfast, while I'm watching TV, watching the news, checking the weather, I can sit there, still do, this number. Excuse me. So that's really what the main purpose of it is to, You know, really keep your fingers accustomed to the shape of the guitar neck. However, it's no substitute for practice and actually playing on real guitar. Now, different exercises. You can, you know, just normal warm-up exercise. You know, the hammer on pull off thing. Then pick hand exercise. You can do the Paul Gilbert thing that he uses and also showed in Guitar World, where it's down, down, up, down, or up, up, down, up, up, down. Then you can reverse it, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. Another thing is the way that I hold this thing and pick with it is like this. But at the same time, when you're holding it like this for your fret hand, it kind of bends your wrist like that, so that might get uncomfortable after a while. But what you can do is, after you're done warming up your fret hand and somewhat of your pick hand, spend about 15-20 minutes on actual guitar, warming up your pick hand, getting your fret hand accustomed to that neck. But also, you can just start off with this type of skill. Do another Paul Gilbert type of thing. Now the tapping thing, I wouldn't recommend even trying tapping on this because you can't really hear it all too great, and you won't be able to tell if your tapping is actually keeping the other strings muted or not. So practice on a real guitar. Another issue I have is, you know, right here at the last fret in the picking path right here, that kind of gets in the way. You know, like my pinky now will actually, even though it's trimmed, it'll still scratch up against my first finger right here, and it's, you know, it's kind of annoying. So I just practice from anywhere from the second to the third position. And with this thing too, since I have problems with my third finger and my pinky, I can actually work on that while warming up as well. And another thing about warming up on real guitars, if you're standing up, for me, it's just kind of warming up, standing there and just going through exercises. And this kind of takes out the mundane part of it, because you know, you can sit there, watch TV, listen to the radio, you know, and warm up, and then about after an hour, 30 minutes, an hour, whatever, go to real guitar and then start actually playing, you know, and actually get some work done. So all in all, it's a pretty okay product, other than the workmanship and the whole string tension and tuning thing, which, you know, string tension should be up here and the actual tuner should be here. I don't know why they couldn't do that with that. But oh, this is the Zakk Wylde looking model anyway. Yeah. And then the whole picking thing, it's kind of awkward like that. And this up here on the last fret, that pinky will scratch the crap out of your finger, and it's really annoying, and it kind of hurts after a while. You know, practice your bending and all that, keep your calluses maintained, which a handspring can't do. You know, like I said earlier, you practice your arpeggios, you can practice your kind of diminished. Well, there's not enough room to do a full diminished really, but hey. No, practice that. But there again, depending on the way you pick on real guitar, because the way that you have to hold it like this, you won't be able to tell if your picking would be able to help keep the strings muted or not. But you can practice your tremolo picking. But that goes back to the whole holding it like this thing, depending on your picking style. It's more of a risk, and if you're like me, using more of a forearm motion, you know, it's, you know, But it still helps maintain your pick hand. This is the main reason why I got it. And Zakk Wylde model looks cool, but because I don't have a lot of time to get to real guitar this semester, this is great for pick hand. Now we're about to find out if it really works.